My journey starts like way before I ever picked up a drink or a drug. So I had a really good family, right? I just was a really troubled kid. And so from like the ages of 11 to 17, 18, I resided in 11 different places. And I think that like that kind of led into my excessive drug and alcohol use, because I just like had no sense of belonging. Like even before school, like in a family sense, I just didn't belong anywhere. The first time that I tried meth, it was absolute euphoria, right? Like there was no down. My brain was going so fast that I couldn't even think a negative thought about myself. Once I started with the meth, nobody wanted to be around me. I was a shell of a person. I wasn't even a different person. There was nothing there. I knew pretty early on that like I had an issue with drugs. And I had an issue with just like being myself. I don't ever think that I was in denial about being an addict. I just didn't have the will to change it. I got pregnant with my son. He was born incredibly addicted to drugs. So immediately he went into withdrawals, right? So that was rough. And like I remember so vividly, like having him on my chest and he was so tense and like shaking. And I remember saying like, we're never gonna do this again, right? Like we're done. And as soon as the epidural wore off, like I was in the bathroom getting high again. My hatred for myself was so much more than my love for my child, that I couldn't get it. It took everything from me. I let it take everything from me. There was literally nothing left of me. There was no joy, there was no spark. It was definitely a process. There was a grieving process involved, like for the person that I was. There was a fear that came because like that person that I was protected me. Whether it be from like failure, because how can you fail when you haven't done anything? Whether it was from disappointment, because how can you disappoint somebody if you don't have them in your life? All of these things, like you can't hurt me because I've hurt myself so much. Like that was the shield that the person I was gave me.
What's interesting about Shyan is her intellectual capacity, incredibly bright, eager to learn. And so in the journey of recovery, especially from where she had come, to have the information is one thing. And she had really had a great beat on the information, but it was about the practical application. It was about life skills, consistency, discipline, etc.
We were just surrounded by action, right? Instead of just talking about it or learning about it or being told to do it by somebody, it was action. I was doing it. I was a part of something really, really amazing. Everything else that I did, I had to do. Through the courts, through my probation officer, I had to do it. But the Erie, like the Grace House program was a choice.
I believe that God's intention is that his works be remembered through generations. And so I think Shyan is an absolutely beautiful example of that. She is a determined parent, determined to provide opportunity, safety, experiences for her children that she may or may not have had the opportunity. to provide. And so the remembrance will be beyond what God did for Shyan, that it will resound in the generations, in the impact that she will make with women, the impact that her children will make. And in that, I believe God is glorified.
It means opportunity. An opportunity for a chance to build a better life. That's what the Erie City Mission and all of the things that it provides to this community means to me. Today, this is my home, right? Like, this is my sanctuary. This is where my peace is at. And by my peace, I mean my two insane children. I have crazy kids. A 6-year-old named Nikolai, who I got back July 5th of last year. So I had almost 4 years clean by the time I got my son back. And then I had my daughter January 14th of 2021, so last year. And I am engaged to a wonderful man. I'm not gonna let these people down, and I'm not gonna prove the other people right. Because my dad and my aunt, the one who raised Nikolai, say it all the time to me. Like, we had no faith that you would get here. Like, we did not think you were capable of getting to the place you are today. And like, you'd think that would be like, hey, that's kind of rude. But it's the best compliment I think that I've ever been given. Because I proved you wrong. A million times I've proved so many people wrong.